Yo guys, it's Nick here with Couch Potato Fights. Just in the garden chilling, having a nice coffee after work. Gonna have some nice venison hot dogs later. So yeah, looking forward to that. Rock and roll existence. Yeah, so we'll get right into it. Wladimir Klitschko's apparently sent an offer to Ajit Kabayel to fight, so lucrative offer that Ajit Kabayel's turned down. But Ajit Kabayel, as you will be aware, he's 26-0, 18 knockouts. He's a name on everyone's lips. A lot of people want to see him in a huge fight, me included. So really tough guys. So the fact that Wladimir Klitschko, who is 64-5-0 with 53 knockouts, that's fucking mental. 64 fights. Imagine that, like training for 64 fights. 53 knockouts as well, that's ridiculous. How old is he? Doesn't actually say. That's really weird. On BoxRec, it doesn't actually say how old he is. It says 69 bouts. For a second, I thought it said he was 69 years old, and I thought, fucking hell. I won't put it past it these days. Everyone's unretiring, you know. So anyway, he called out Ajit Kabayel. Kabayel turned it down, which is really cool in a sense, because I wouldn't want to see him fight Kabayel as his comeback, although loads of people would. I know he's not got time on his hands because he's an older guy, Klitschko. Maybe he's thinking, I'm going to come in and do like a couple of fights, then fight for a world title or something, or one fight, then fight for a world title. That must be the thinking. I wouldn't like to see it though. Do you know what I mean? It's like he's not 40 years. Like, when was the last time he fought? It looks like he fought anti-Joshua years ago. His last fight was the Joshua fight. He fought Fury before that. There's Pulev, he fought Pulev. Pekin, he won that. The Darren match. David Hay. He beat David Hay, if you remember. So yeah, realist record, but he's not 14 years, so it'd be bizarre anyway to come back and fight what many people would say one of the top 3 heavyweights in the world. Obviously, Usyk for me is number one. Number one with a bullet is Usyk. Daniel Dubois, I would say, is number 2. And then that's why it's such an occasion of fighting each other. Then the debate could start as to who are 3, 4, 5, 6 and all that lot. But Kabayel, he's got to be in the top 5, definitely at least. So for Klitschko to come out and fight him, it'd be Dr. Steel Balls, never mind Dr. Steel Hammer. For a dude his age to come out of retirement after years to fight Kabayel would be a huge statement if he won, but he would be up against it, against the younger sort of up-and-coming prospect. It feels weird to say up-and-coming because you'd thought he'd arrived. Hopefully he gets that big fight soon and we can class him as being arrived. So if you're looking at other potential opponents for Klitschko, I run it through ChatGPT just to see what that came out with. Came out with some interesting results. So Dillian Whyte, yeah, I'd probably watch that. Again, it's weird for anyone. He's going to want to fight a name. Dillian Whyte is a name. But again, would it be too dangerous for Klitschko to put him straight in with Dillian Whyte? Or is Dillian Whyte at a point in his career where he's on a downward spiral? I don't think he is. He's only lost 3 fights. I'm sure he'll look good in his next fight. I think he would have beat Joe Joyce. Marketability wise, could do really good if they have it in the UK especially. So Dillian Whyte versus Klitschko in the UK, that could be interesting. It would be a risky fight again for Klitschko. Like I say, I keep thinking of his health. Like, he's an older guy coming back into it. They're all adults. They can make their own decision. Obviously, like every boxer, young or old, they know that when they get in the ring, they could fuck themselves up. Well, someone else could fuck them up. And it's a sport where there could have been fatalities. People, if you remember a Scarborough boxer called Paul the Yorkshire Hunter Ingle, the pride of Scarborough, he did amazing. He got as far as fighting Prince Nassim at one point. But he fought one fight and it ruined his career and it ruined his life in a sense because he had to quit boxing. He had all sorts of problems with just general day-to-day life, and he put on weight, and I think he had severe depression. He split up with his missus, and you know, it's a really dangerous game. So as tough as Klitschko probably is, do you want to put him in with someone like a Dillian Whyte or an Ajit Kabayel? Another name mentioned which is more feasible to me that I'd like to see would be Francis Ngannou. Hopefully Ngannou will box again, and I know people say he should never box again after the Joshua fight, but remember he did all right against a Fury that had a bad day at the office, but he did all right against someone that we thought would beat him soundly. So Francis Ngannou, he's had high-profile bouts, but he did well in one, and arguably some people are saying they thought he beat Fury. Against Joshua, you can't really have that debate because he got sparked out. But I would much prefer seeing him fight someone like Francis Ngannou rather than a Dillian Whyte or an Ajit Kabayel. It would still be a spectacle. Francis Ngannou's an incredibly popular fighter. That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that. Okay, so random one it's come up with is Andy Ruiz Jr. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, marketability-wise, yeah, come back with Klitschko. That's going to have eyes on it regardless. It's going to be on a big show. It's not going to be like your local working man's club. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be on a big show. Ruiz, maybe, yeah, big name, big drama. Again, the risk is quite high. His Ruiz is quite fast, and he's dropped a lot of weight because he's a bit of a Podmeister, but obviously he's dropped quite a bit of weight. I don't know. It's funny with this, everyone coming out of retirement. I don't know why Klitschko's doing it. I guess because he's going for a world title. He wants to be the oldest world champion since George Foreman, by the sounds of it. You probably don't need the money. I'm not saying anything's about money. But I just question why he's coming back. Saying that, massive balls if you're going to try and set up a fight with Magic Cabiel. So those are some names anyway. On to some. Who do you think Klitschko would fight? Should he come out of retirement? Should boxers in the mid to late 40s stay retired? Is it dangerous for them to get back in the ring? We know George Foreman did it, but this was years ago. You know, the science of athletics and everything's developed a lot since then. You didn't really have people like Francis Ngannou walking around when George Foreman was. You know, people power-wise, strength, the training. I don't know. I just think it could be more dangerous. I don't know if it could happen again because I think that the younger guys, everyone's optimising the game, and I think a younger, fresher fighter usually can beat someone that's much, much older. Obviously, you see Johnny Fisher and David Allen. That's experience. He's not much older. I'm talking about a young guy that, you know, peak performance fighting someone that's in the mid-40s, nearly 50. And we saw the circus that was Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. Do we want to see a fight where there's such a huge age difference? Probably not really. I don't know. Carl Froch has been up to his old tricks again. Listened to a really funny podcast earlier. Basically, he's got huge issues with Jake Paul. They've gone back and forth on fucking social media like a lot of them do. He said that he's not going to fight. Obviously, people are calling him out now, which is easier because he's retired. Yeah, I don't want to see Carl Froch fight at all whatsoever. He was a fantastic boxer. He had his moment of 80,000 fans at Wembley, sparking George Groves out. I think he doesn't really mention it often. I don't want to actually see him fight anyone. It's great when they're going back and forth. It's all entertaining, isn't it? But I don't. I mean, he said he won't fight Jake Paul, so there's issues there. But Jake Paul, yeah, his next opponent. If he can get through him, it might raise a few eyebrows. But I'm still not totally convinced he's fighting someone that's really going to give him a huge test. And also, I saw a video earlier that hinted that when he fought Tyron Woodley took a dive. That's what the video sounded like. So when you hear stuff like that, obviously we can't confirm or deny this or whatever, we can only speculate. But when you hear stuff like that, it's not great. He also took a huge shot at Darren Till because Darren Till had some stuff to say after his last fight the other day against Darren Stewart. I don't think that'll happen either. I think Darren Till pretty much said, like, if it's fucking tons of money. Same with Froch, he did say he'd fight someone if the money was right, but I don't think they're going to be able to offer him enough money to come out of retirement and put his other business ventures aside and his family and everything. And, you know, he seems like he's living a good life now, so why would he come out of retirement and risk his health, you know? And he's got money anyway, do you know what I mean? So Darren Till, I think it was a bit harsh because he played the Jorge Masvidal knockout. I think it was a bit harsh, really. Darren Till did have a really good run in the UFC. He did go on a bit of the skid, but he had a really good run. I think he did put in a good performance against Darren Stewart the other night. And Darren Stewart isn't some Misfits bozo. He was on the Misfits show, yeah, but he's a well-established fighter and a very good striker as well. And I thought it was a good fight. I thought it was really exciting. Until looked all right. I don't think Darren Till will fight KSI. I'd like to see him fight KSI just because a lot of people, similar to Jake Paul, they will watch KSI to wait for him the moment when he gets chinned. And I think if he fought Darren Till, it'd be really bad. I think he would get knocked out badly. He'd become a meme himself, I think. And he also, the Ariel Helwani one, yeah, I mean, I totally respect Ariel Helwani, where he's come from. When anyone works hard and they build something from the ground up, he's obviously grafted, he's done very well. He's not really my cup of tea personally, to be honest. I've listened to a few of his podcasts, but they're long as fuck. They're like 3 hours or something. Probably as long as like a Joe Rogan podcast. I like my podcast sort of like 30, 45, 60 minutes. Yeah, he does seem to like cozy up a bit more to people that are sort of on vogue or, you know, fashionable, or people like Jake Paul, or people you could maybe get kudos from. But, you know, he's just playing the cards he's dealt, and he's like all of us were trying to pay our bills or whatever. He doesn't particularly offend me or anything. I just don't watch his show. It'd be interesting to see Carl Froch and Ariel Helwani doing a show together, because Carl Froch has no problem with, you know, meeting people face to face and just airing his problems with them like he did with Gareth A. Davis. So yeah, funny as fuck podcast. It's just all banter in it, and I'm sure a lot of the time these people meet each other, they'll shake hands or have a laugh, but sometimes there's genuine sort of disdain there. I don't think he'll fight any of the people I've mentioned. The only realistic one, he's definitely not fighting Ariel Helwani. Ariel Helwani's not fighting anyone. Fair play to him. Yeah, Ariel Helwani's doing his thing. It's not really my cup of tea, but a lot of people seem to like him, so fair play to him. Darren Till would be the most likely. Jake Paul. I mean, Darren Till even. It's a long shot. Jake Paul, no chance. No chance he's fighting Jake Paul. The longer you speculate, the longer they're going back and forth, the older they get, especially Carl Froch. And I'm sure he'll just get to a point where he's like, I'm not going to remotely entertain the talk of me fighting. Only over a little bit, I saw some face-offs from the event on Saturday. Taylor versus Escherman. Moses Italma looked really relaxed. He's fighting Mike Balogun, and let's be honest, he's probably going to run through this Balogun guy. Again, Balogun, decent record. Alarm bells are raised when you try and find tape on a fighter, and you can't really find much, or it looks like they're fighting in fucking a working man's club in Bedminster in Bristol or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, really sort of shitty footage. Again, respect, he's a pro fighter, he's got a good record. He looks like a bit of a bruiser, but I think Moses Italma's going to run through him. They just want to give Moses rounds. Which is fair enough. He's not going to break Mike Tyson's record, so they're probably just slowing his activity down and just not rushing him, which is a good idea. It would be a gigantic upset if Balogun ended up beating Italma, but it's just not going to happen. I really can't see any scenario where Balogun can beat Italma. I think Italma will play with him. He'll do what he wants. He'll be in and out. He'll be there when he needs to. If Balogun tries to hit him with those big winging shots, which I imagine he will, Italma won't be there to take them. I think he'll have the cardio on him. He's got the size on him. He's got the youth, obviously. It's all set up for an easy win for Italma, and I know it's easy for people like fans to say, but come on. I think they wanted to get rounds, and that's cool. But he just looked calm, really calm and composed at the way, and he didn't get drawn into any nonsense. Shook the guy's hand that was obviously trying to rile him up a bit. I think it'd be an easy win for Italma, and then in there it'll be interesting because we can look at who he's going to fight next. If he fought Piccoli on current form, I think he'd beat Martin Piccoli as well, to be honest. But let's see what Piccoli looks like in his next fight, whatever that may be. Anyway, I've gone on for too long. Cheers for listening. I just thought I'd do a random one when I got home so I could upload something tonight. Yeah, Klitschko, let us know if you think he should come back, who he should fight. Carl Froch, he's not going to fight, is he? What do you think? What's your opinion? Moses Italma this weekend. I don't. Again, best of luck to both of them, but I really think it would be one of the upsets of the year. Possibly the upset of the year, I think, if Balogun beat Italma. I'm not expecting it. Hopefully it's a good event anyway. Alois Jr. and David Jameson as well on the undercard, which I'm looking forward to. David Jameson with the best, most precise beard in boxing, possibly. Anyway, thanks for watching again. Liquid Couch Potato Fights. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.